live on radio, on TV, and on Facebook. Oh, what a morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Vintage Talk Show with the vibe. It's interesting. A bit, but yeah, we've got sort of steady. Also, welcome to the Vintage Talk Show. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson, and friends called Fahad. I'm not alone. Thank God for that. And I have with me the delectable Dakaplo, looking monochromic this morning. Uh, Good morning. This is where Arugare.
Morning to everybody. Welcome to another lovely show. Enjoy the first day.
A full day. I thought she was going to say a full day. Yes, that's the thing for you. And my co-anchor, panel of Rose. Good morning, Alex Ogundadebe.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Lagos. It's great to be on 90.9 Top FM on the Vintage Talk Show this morning, and I dare say we're going to have a great time together.
Yes, by His grace, it's going to be interesting. Without dilly dallying, let's go straight into our regulars. Entertainment news, take on it, global trends, and of course, the reviews of municipal cover headlines. Isif, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am ready.
So let's go.
Second WOMA roundtable discussion held on Top Radio.
Hmm.
As part of the second Wale Olomu Memorial Awards, WOMA, a pivotal roundtable discussion is scheduled to take place on Saturday, 14th December at 7:30 a.m. with the theme Building a Broad-Based Safety Net for Veteran and Indigent Practitioners. The events will air live on the Vintage Talk Show on Top Radio 90.9 FM and feature some of Nigeria's brightest minds in entertainment, law, and advocacy.
Hmm.
The roundtable will address the challenges faced by veteran and struggling entertainment practitioners with a focus on sustainability, welfare, and creating robust support systems for those in need. Panelists include Foluke Daramola Salako, a notable actress and activist with a deep commitment to humanitarian causes in Hollywood; Oluwaseun Ajasa, a forward-thinking legal expert and managing partner at the law firm of Abraham, Thompson and Co; Mike Okri, a legendary musician whose hits like Time Na Money, Opeke, and Rumba Dance redefined Nigerian music in the 1980s and 1990s. This discussion marks the first phase of the 2024 Wale Olomu Memorial Awards, a series of events that will culminate in the award ceremony on Saturday, 21st December. The awards continue to honor the unsung heroes whose contributions have shaped the industry's success.
Yeah, we remember
Wow.
the the young man who did great and died young. Wale Olumu died at the age he was about up to 31. He died at the age of 30, a few weeks before his 31st birthday. He was a phenomenal reporter, known for unearthing hidden gems in the entertainment industry. He was so much well loved and feared by operators in the industry because of his tenacity. It all has all the it ticks all the boxes, so to speak. And his death was quite shattering for his colleagues and all. So started last year, then this year, next week, we'll start with a roundtable with those figures mentioned. We'll hope you abide with us and stay with us and enjoy the moment. The week after will be for the awards, for Life Achievement Awards and special recognition award. Um, Alex, do you remember Ali?
Yes, I think I met him once or twice in those days in the 90s
Mm,
when we were on the entertainment beat.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
really get to know him.
Okay, okay. I understand. He died 1994. That is 13 years ago. I think it was around December 4, or December 4, yes, 1994. Yes, so
Brilliant.
it's already 30 years,
Wow, time flies.
yeah. And he wasn't married. He had a steady girlfriend that we were going to. We spoke with her last week. It was a very emotional time. His younger brother, Dayo Olum, was on air. Hopefully, we'll hear from him this year also. And many operators in the industry are still nostalgic about his contribution to the entertainment industry. He was an award in entertainment journalist, very, very, very gracious about his job. May God continue to bless his soul. Amen. Yes, let's move
Do
on
we have any idea who the nominees are yet?
because they are special awards, so we don't. They don't do nominees. We just announce the winners on the day.
Okay, okay, yeah.
it's not a competitive thing. It's a selective thing. So we scout around for those who, who built the industry and are still building the industry somewhat. Okay, but we know the speakers for next week, like she mentioned, Funke Ramola, essentially for her humanitarian activities in the industry, helping the poor of the earth within their sector, and doing all it can for those who are victims of rape and all that. And then we have Oluwaseun Achasa, a young prominent lawyer who's delved into a lot of work in entertainment. He has a live radio, weekly radio show, Law and You, explaining to people about the riches of the law and limitations and all that. And then finally, we have the veteran, Mike Okri, all the way from the United States. I think we have about 9 hour gap. I hope he's not staying in Alaska or something like that. We'll also talk to us about protecting and building safety nets for our veteran and vulnerable practitioners in the art. So that will be our occupation next week. Okay, enough of Uma. Let's move on to something else.
Patience Ozokwo awarded honorary doctorate. Veteran Nollywood actress Patience Ozokwo
Hmm.
was deeply moved after receiving an honorary doctorate degree in theatre and media arts. This prestigious recognition acknowledges her significant contributions to the entertainment industry. The award was conferred upon Ozokwo along with fellow actors like Adebayo Salami and Jide Kosoko as a special ceremony held at the University of Lagos in Akoka, Yaba, Lagos on Saturday, 30th November. The event took place at the Aderinokun Lecture Theatre, where numerous dignitaries, celebrities, and loved ones gathered to celebrate the remarkable careers of these Nollywood legends. The honorary degrees were presented by Achievers Networks Academy UK to honor the trio for their immense impact in Nollywood and the global entertainment landscape. Their dedication to the growth of the industry, iconic roles in films, mentorship of emerging talents, and efforts to promote African culture were highlighted during the ceremony. Overjoyed and emotional about the recognition, Ozokwo shared a video of the event on her Instagram page. She described the experience saying, "Today was like a movie."
Indeed, it's great to be honored while you are alive. It's a nice thing. The worthy achievers, Soko,
Yeah.
Salami, Soko.
Congratulations to them all.
Congrats,
It's just
congrats.
that I'm wondering what kind of organization gives honorary doctorate degrees. It's not an educational institution, is it?
Is it
I don't mean
achievers
to
of the
rain. I don't mean to rain on their parade.
leave their bubble. Let them be a bubble. I know that there is something called Achievers University, Achievers.
This Achievers Networks Academy.
So it's an academy, kind of. I don't know. And interestingly, they are using the environ of University of Lagos. And is it not the VC that gave the something? Was it not the VC that gave that presented the Abi? So there's some kind of immature.
If you don't watch it carefully, you would think it came from Unilag. If you don't
That's what I thought. That's what I thought until I saw the Achievers Network thing. Please let them enjoy. Don't ruin their parade. Leave them. Let them parade it. It's and it's worthy. They deserve it, really.
They do deserve it. They do deserve it.
And then the proper ones will come later. It's okay. It's okay. Leave them. Congratulations. Leave Alex alone with his bad mouth. Okay. Let's go on.
Idris Abdulkarim talks too much. Nobody respects him. Timaya. Timaya recently stated that veteran singer Idris Abdulkarim lacks respect within the music industry because he tends to be overly talkative. In a recent interview on Niger FM in Lagos, Timaya dismissed the host's attempt to compare his personality with Abdulkarim's. When the host said, "You and Idris Abdulkarim are among the artists that people are most afraid of picking a fight with," Timaya clarified, saying, "I don't talk like Idris. I don't behave like him. Nobody is afraid of him because he talks too much. He has always been talkative. I don't even want people to be afraid of me. I respect myself so that people will respect me."
Timaya is well.
Oh my God.
Well, to be fair, it sounds like him also. And we just let's watch what we say, about our colleagues for the sake of the industry, so to speak. Abdul Karim, just take the high road. You don't have to respond. Just move on. We will soon forget. Too many issues to do in Nigeria to remember being called that you are talkative. Everybody here, all of us here, we are talkative. That's what we talk. We talk on radio. So do not feel slighted in the least.
I'll just say that I understand. I understand where Timaya's coming from.
You want to add fire to it. You want to add fire to the thing. Leave the young man alone. Let them talk about Alex. You're a troublemaker. Okay.
Princess Chineke makes career shift, joins US Army. Actress Princess Chineke has made a surprising career shift by trading her script Queen, who represented her state, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria's army. Her decision to enlist has shocked many fans who remember her captivating performances on screen. Some of her notable works include Battleground, Forever in Me, Last Flight to Abuja, Super Story, Papa Ajasko, Tales of Eve, Adam Bano, To Love a Sister, Give It Up, Masters at War, Too Broken, Airline Basis, Meso, Royal Maid, Professor John Paul, and AY Shows Kids.
Oh,
you have finished with the list. You have finished with the list. I saw your voice inflection there when you mentioned her name.
Chineke.
Chineke.
Yeah.
When you say Chineke, the next thing say US. You pronounce it like that with an Igbo tongue. Okay, that's interesting. I don't blame the young woman.
One of the
look at the list.
Album, Battleground. Did I hear you right?
Yeah.
Yes, Battleground. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you can actually draw a link to the kind of mindset.
There is a premonition. There was it was going to end up. My only fear for Chineke is now that they are going to have a Trump, a bellicose, trouble-loving, you know, president. There might be many wars to fight in that place. So,
So she may do battleground part two.
yeah, I mean, new battlegrounds for her to. I mean, we pray that she will be safe and she will just enjoy the spoil of good office and not the carnage of war. You know, but I don't blame the young woman. Nigeria can shift your career sometimes. Okay.
Francis Juru pens emotional tribute on late son's posthumous birthday.
Mm.
Actor Francis Juru has shared a heart-wrenching tribute to his late son, Ifeanyi, on what would have been his 16th birthday. Ifeanyi passed away on 8th August at the age of 15. He would have turned 16 on Wednesday, 4th December. In a post on his Instagram account, Juru expressed his emotion. Luna, today you were going to be 16, but the cold hands of death snatched you from us. And he went on to articulate the immense pain of losing a son who was filled with excitement for this milestone today. Your fond memories comfort us all. Mommy weeps each day while I grieve in the dark. Francis and Soso will all miss you. Grandma keeps your picture close. We still love you and feel you are still with us.
Wow. To lose a
Oh dear.
teenager just barely weeks to the next birthday, it's a terrible, terrible. We ask for
Yeah.
fortitude for his family. He was a nice young man, also, to lose a child at that age, at any age really, it's a terrible, terrible. May God keep that family. Uh,
Amen. Amen to that.
I hope that's the only sad news there.
And we have one other sad news.
Ah, okay, let's see.
Mercy Aigbe's home got by fire.
Oh, okay.
Sympathies have been
Yeah, I
pouring
saw
in
that.
for actress Mercy Aigbe after her home was destroyed in a fire outbreak.
Mm,
The actress took to Instagram late Wednesday, 4th December, to share a heart-wrenching video showcasing the damage caused by the fire.
mm,
In her post, Aigbe expressed gratitude that no lives were lost despite the tragic incident.
mm,
While captioning the video of the burnt house, she wrote, devastated, "Thank God no lives were lost. It
mm,
is well."
mm,
Fellow actress Yaba Ojo sending her condolences to Aigbe and her husband Fatima Adeoti, offering words of encouragement. In a post on her Instagram account, Yaba Ojo wrote, "My dear friend Asri Mercy Aigbe and my humble brother Kazim Adeoti, I'm deeply sorry to hear about the devastating loss of your home. My heart goes out to both of you during this challenging time. I'm
mm,
grateful that no lives were lost, and with that, there is hope for a brighter future. Stay strong, my dear friends, and
mm,
know that I'm here for you, sending you
mm.
love, sympathy, and support during this difficult time."
Yeah, indeed, it's another tragedy. I understand it was a complete raise.
Yeah,
So
I
sad.
saw the debris online.
Uh,
It wasn't looking good at all. It was horrible.
um, and at this time, this period, uh, the economic period, the Yuletide period, and everything. So sorry for the Adeoti
Sorry,
family,
sorry.
uh, except our sympathies. Wow, that's sad. That's sad. I hope we're through with your sad stories.
Yes, we are.
Oh, thank God for that. Wow, wow, wow. Well, with that, we have come to the end of entertainment wrap up. Take a short break, a music break, and come back to Alex for global trends and what we all need now is the flow of an invisible power, of an inestimable power to help us through all the rinds and grind of life. Listen to Monique. It says power flow. Hmm. You forgot to listen. It was clear. Mike. Let your opinion count in this place.
Right, so we sing.
Look at them. In this and anything that love me. For those watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we are not able to play the music. There's always a copyright restriction and all that. Apparently, what they pay in Nigeria is for Nigerian and perhaps some African regions, and maybe parts of Europe and Europe. But there's always restriction from the East Europe, and for that there will be all kinds of complaints. So we decided to keep it to ourselves. Alex, are you ready with the global trends?
Yeah, I'm ready. So as soon as you're ready, you can cue me in.
Just to say, yeah, Barry, yeah, Barry, yeah, Barry, oh, Yama, yeah, Barry, yeah, Barry, yeah, Barry, oh, Yama, yeah, Barry. I'm coming to you, Alex.
Okay, standing by.
Alex, are you there? There was a glitch a moment ago.
Yeah, I'm
Can you hear
here.
me? Okay.
Loud and
Did
clear.
they talk to? Okay.
All right, are we on?
I will launch you.
All right.
That was Monique with Power Flow. Indeed, we need that to energize us this morning to wait on God and trust God, and then all shall be well. We are going trends with Alex Ogundaribe. Are you ready for us, Alex?
Yes, I am ready. The first story on our list takes us to South Korea. And it says the South Korean president ordered the arrest of his own party leader. South Korea's president, Yoon Suk Yeol, ordered the arrest of his own ruling party's leader, Hoon Dong-hoon, when he declared martial law on Tuesday night. The arrest list also included the leader of the main opposition Democratic Party, Lee Jae-yong, as well as three opposition lawmakers, the National Intelligence Service Deputy Director has said. So
Well, I
we
like
have
the way you
fireworks
I like the way you're
in
pronouncing
South Korea.
Linda. You like. I hope they are not listening. You know, we are happy to welcome our legal experts and social development advocate Olutu Bosun Oshifowora. Good morning, Bosun. He's lively this morning. I mean, he appears lively. When his team wins, it's always extra happy. Okay, he will join us. Okay, Alex. Um, it's called a night of
So
long knife in the South
yeah,
Korea politics. Mm, mm, not sacking
I hope
everybody, sacking everybody.
I hope that doesn't mean a dictatorship is emerging because he's practically taken all the powerful people around him.
Will you be surprised? His long-time neighbor has turned that one into an art. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
Also
Next,
trying
we're
to
going
network.
to the United Kingdom, and we're talking about the royals. Harry says U.S. life is what Diana would want for him. Prince Harry said his life in the US is what his mother, Princess Diana, would have wanted for him. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex relocated to Montecito, California, 4 years ago after announcing they would step back as senior royals and work to become financially independent.
Mm, yeah, I believe so. Diana was eventually going towards the US and the continent really, you know. So I'm sure she will love that for them.
Yeah.
And he's a
And
restless soul. So
there is so much hate for
yeah,
Meghan if you
yeah,
check the British tabloids.
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
they believe she manipulated Harry. But I think
Mhm.
Harry has the mind of his own. You know, he never recovered from his mother's death. That's the
Yeah,
truth. Yeah,
yeah, I think
it
so.
really hit him hard.
I like their union. Let them be carrying their hatred all over the place. People who carry hatred around die young, you know. Mm. Okay.
Okay, next we're going into the Russian Federation, and it's the title of the story says Georgia's opposition comes under attack as leader dragged from HQ. Georgia's political crisis has turned steadily more violent after the pro Russian government suspended accession talks with the European Union and cracked down on demonstrators demanding change. This week, protest leaders were targeted after the Prime Minister said organizers would not evade responsibility. A moment of truth, protesters in Georgia demand Western path, not Russian past. Georgia is one of the federations that came out of the Russian Empire, you know, the USSR.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They are going to have the same issue with Ukraine eventually, and they are even smaller. They're even smaller, and they're
yeah,
very close to the jugular. of Kremlin. What will help them? I believe Boston is back. Good morning, Boston Shifura. We have been hailing you since your since your team won. We have been. It just I don't think you have you have, I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Good morning, Uncle Fudge. Good morning, Mr.
Ah,
Alex. I mean, in
uh-huh.
Badon, the network is poor.
Wow,
It
wow.
is. It is. You're welcome
Thank
on
you,
board.
thank you,
Welcome
thank
on
you for
board.
Morning,
joining
sir.
us. It's not easy from Ibadan. I hope all is well over there.
Very well, calm and quiet.
Thank God. Okay, Alex, let's move on.
All right, next we're in France, and the story says a French crisis that will not go away. France's
Mm,
Prime Minister Barnier tendered his resignation on Thursday after being ousted by MPs in a no confidence vote. The National
mm,
Assembly remains divided into three blocks, none of which is prepared to deal with the others. For many, the very future of the Fifth Republic institutions are in jeopardy.
mm.
It means Macron's government may collapse any moment.
Yeah, the signs are there. Okay,
Mm.
God will help them. There's a wind of change all over.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be taking over Europe a lot. I wonder
Yeah,
what's happening.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
next we're going to Eastern Europe, and the story says Romania hit by election influence campaign. There appears to have been an attempt to interfere in presidential elections using TikTok and a series of cyber attacks. That's happening in Romania.
Mm, mm. It's always, I mean, it's happening. It has happened in Nigeria. So some people claim, you know, cyber attacks, interfering with this, interfering with that, cyber bullying. Lawyers are just cashing out nowadays. Eh? The, the lawyer in the house
Yeah.
has no defense.
Um,
Okay, okay. You get Bosu's view later. Let's move on.
all right. Next, we're going to Kenya. And the title of the story is Housemaid Convicted of Murder of
Mm,
LGBT Activists. A
mm,
Kenyan court convicted a photographer of the horrific murder of Edwin Kipruto, known as Edwin Chiloba. Um, I I'm not sure that's the whole story. Okay,
mm.
that
Yeah.
appears to be all I have on that.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Alex. We take a short break and come back for the reviews of headlines this morning from the top Nigerian newspapers. Now let's make way for Sinach. She speaks about the Waymaker. Network is affecting Boston students in that place.
Yeah. You know this Sinach song you're playing, is it the Waymaker song?
Yeah,
That song took her to the top of the gospel billboard in the
yeah,
US.
yeah.
And a lot of top gospel artists actually did covers of that song.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that really broke the industry open for her.
Yeah. Is it the same song that somebody's suing her for copyright? I read
I didn't hear
somewhere, I
that.
don't know if it's Yumika or another song. It
I
was
don't think
original
it
to
would.
her.
I don't think it would be Waymaker.
I saw a headline last week.
Okay,
Um,
I'll need to check that.
okay. Oh, she has a powerful voice.
She does.
Oh, would love to have Boston around. There's some legal issues that we need to talk about.
Okay, you're right. It is the Waymaker song.
Okay.
There's Oluwole Michael, professionally known as Maye, who is suing her.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that was long. I mean, the song has been on for a long time, almost a decade old,
Yeah,
if not more.
he's suing her for 5 billion naira, and
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't even know it was a Nigerian suing.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. We can't wait for Boston any longer. We move on to newspaper headline. Though. I'll launch it now.
All right.
Okay. Well, we have the covers ready. One of us is missing in action. Hopefully, Boston will be able to join us. Network that meeting. Let's start with this beat from Saturday Independent. And it says how poverty, insecurity worsen gender based violence in Nigeria. UN and others say there's a damning report that says one woman is killed every 10 minutes. That's terrible.
In Nigeria,
Yeah, yeah. They're talking about gender based violence in Nigeria. So supposedly it's in Nigeria. A
that's
woman is
scary.
killed every 10 minutes. That's a terrible thing.
But
Then,
there is no doubt about the numbers going up. That is the number of instances of gender-based
mm,
violence. But I wouldn't say it's directed towards women alone, although women are affected more. From the stats that we have, in recent times, there has been a very, it has really increased a lot. And, on the backlash of it, when our couples move to the UK or the US, you see a lot of the women changing. You know, they take on the culture of that environment and they
Yeah.
fight back. And we have a lot of
Mm,
crises in homes.
mm, mm.
It's a terrible thing. Our culture that demands that a man is the head of the home is often taken too far in some instances. That's the way I see it.
I don't see any reason to hurt another, not to
Mm,
mention to kill over trying to assert your superiority. I mean,
yeah,
if you're superior, you take you have the equal, what they call it, the sense of mind to let some things go, you know, and show your so-called superiority. How do you manage to start beating your
the,
your supposed best friend, or killing him or her, whoever
yeah.
is the aggressor? No, it's a very damning situation if it is indeed true.
It may
Okay.
be slightly exaggerated, but I must say those numbers may be slightly exaggerated. But we do know that there's a problem and it exists.
There is, because we read a lot. If you check on Facebook or YouTube and all these things, all these local stations where people bring their problems in, radio stations, online platforms, and all that. You hear terrible things men do to children, to women, and things on women do to their spouses. It's a crazy world. It's Some of us are cocooned from all these problems. You don't know tragedies boiling in homes, Nigerian homes. But let's move on. We need to find a way around it. Whatever they are doing is not working because it's spiral and it's growing. Okay? You will be interested in this. Saturday Tribune leads with Faro Timi, as the Daily Faro Timi, the Lagos lawyer, who is detained in Ekiti now. Police ban protest gatherings, file fresh 12-count charge. Afeba Balola demands apology from detained lawyer. Have you been following that story?
I have. I have. There is a lot to it. He actually has a press conference that is trending on YouTube where he tried to explain a lot of the things that happened. Uh, Chief Afe Babalola SAN is suing him for defamation. Uh, the root is from a book that he published on the Nigeria judicial system, which he says is flawed, that there are a lot of powerful people that are manipulating the system to get judgment, in their own, to their own advantage. And he mentions
Mm-hmm.
Afebo Babalola as one of the major people, and he goes on to give instances. So Afe Babalola has sued him, but the contentions really are, we're looking at defamation. Defamation, is it really a criminal offense or is it a civil offense? This is where Bosun could have really given us some more insight.
Yes, yes.
But
Maybe we'll come to it later.
from
Well,
what I've heard,
I know that from my experience with the courts, police, and all that during my municipal days, that there is, I don't know, I mean, I understand it's been abrogated in Lagos and some other states, but there is a criminal defamation
it's even
case, and
been
people doing
abrogated in
defamation.
Ekiti where he was arrested. So people are raising questions, you know? Anyway,
Now what?
uh, that
What are the grounds?
what were the ground? Why was he arrested and detained in that manner? Then he's well. I don't want to go into. We shouldn't go too deep into the case.
Well,
This
let us,
is
so that we know adults as parties to the case. So
exactly.
what you want to say? But you see, the weight of, I read some of the stuff. I've not been able to lay my hands on the book, but I read some of the stuff extracted here and there. And they are weighty. and
Yeah.
they don't only not only name names, but name them in in a very violently descriptive manner, very degenerating and all that. And
Yeah.
it is not Chief Afebo Balola that is suing Mr. Dele Farotimi. It's a state, because you write a petition claiming this is can endanger life and destroy public peace and all that. That that elevates the case to criminal defamation, because it could lead to public disorder. People could rebel against what they feel as a systemic corruption that they perpetuated for so long and all that, and they will enjoy his reputation and all that. So the police will take over and then sue on behalf of the state. So that's why it looks as if the government is at the back of Babalola. But there's so much to unravel there. We'll wait for a lawyer to come and pull some of
Yeah.
these things. Yes, so maybe
And
we'll
one
come
thing I did say
afterwards.
is going to, the book and the statements there is going to make people take another look at the judicial system and ask if we are in need of reforms or not. That's one major factor that will come from
Anyway,
this crisis, this
beyond the book, it's been clear for many years that we need serious reforms in in our judiciary. The kind of allegation. Remember what Dalhousie, is it Dalhousie or Dalhousie said? The justice said when he was retiring. It's a very
yeah,
indicting statement he made and all that. And many people have raised, rattling. They've made copious statements without mentioning names. It's just that follow to me knocking this on the head and knocking the man who will not take things lying down and all that. But we
yeah. And
know we
we
need
hear the
serious
book
reform in
is
that.
selling like hotcake on Amazon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the highest in a particular
And
category. I think it's government and political
yeah,
stories category.
uh,
Not a worldwide thing, as people say. Nigerians will like exaggeration, but in his own
yeah.
class, in his own category, is the world best. Okay, which is great. Which is great.
Mm.
So I don't know how Ababa is going to stop that one. He's going to. Is he going to sue Amazon to
In
stop?
fact, if we look at the merits of the case, a lot of lawsuits will come from that.
A lot, a lot. But the Baba is asking for apology. Maybe the young man apologizes. He probably will let it go. But I don't see that man apologizing. I don't see him
He will not.
apologizing. I don't see
Apologies
him.
to Ekiti people, but there's this strong head notion about
It's a
the
self-indictment, Abby. Why is it Ekiti people? Are you not near them there? Are you not neighbors?
we have parts of it, but they have most.
They have people. I wonder why people generalize things like this with so much confidence. They say we are part of it. Okay, let's move on to Saturday Punch, and we'll relate with tax reform. That is the cocoa of the moment. Northern senators divided as stakeholders form panel. There's
You know,
a writer that says lawmakers give conditions to back bills. Okay. Yes, you are
you know
saying.
this is another area where I would have really loved to hear from Boston. But I think the
Yeah.
crux of the issue is VAT. You know, they've redistributed VAT.
Yeah. I don't longer can hear Alex.
Hello, sorry. I think there
Yeah,
was a
you're back
slight.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, you're back now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the VAT, the redistribution of the VAT, the fact that The states that produce more will benefit more, and the states that are not really contributing much, the benefits they derive from that are going to go down drastically. So that's why we see the northern governors and the northern senators on the warpath. They want the status quo. They don't want a change. They don't want a reduction in the amount of revenue they're going to derive from that. So I believe this bill may be rewritten. That's my belief.
Well, I wrote a full page, half-page article on this in my column this morning. It's on tax reforms and this issue of even with the slash of federal government portion from VAT to 10% from 15. It's still the cry from the northern part is still the same. Essentially, because you ban consumption of alcohol, which it's a legitimate right in sight of your religion, and then you want to take the money from it. It's like a haram money kind of a thing. If you take money from it, it does not injure your position and all that, and if people don't buy enough in your area, why do you want to get more money from people who pay tax on what they consume? So they need to encourage consumption and productivity so that they can stop this cap in hand thing, or else merge your states and form some. Be creative. I think that's essentially what it's trying to do.
It's a good
environment.
What I think should be done eventually is they should put a timeline on it if they're going to implement it.
And then dialogue extensively. You can't ramrod it to people. You can't force it.
Because
negotiate.
You're collecting certain amounts of money over a period, then abruptly it's taken away from you.
You're going to stop. There will be crisis.
Of course.
There will be crisis, and people that will be eating fat on it.
We also need to look at the political angle. In the National Assembly, looking at Nigeria as a federation, there are 19 northern states, there are 17 southern. So when we get into voting patterns that affect north and south, north will always have an edge. That's the truth.
400 plus to 300 plus. But sometimes it's called political brinksmanship. North can vote against North, just as South can vote against South. It has happened before.
True.
But they need to get a consensus behind this massive reform, and then they find a way of making it less massive. Cherry pick. Maybe let something stay for now, and so that governments can move, governance can move.
Because that bill, if it's changed into a law, will benefit entrepreneurs. Right now there's so much taxation.
It's I think it's a great stuff, but it can't be. Everything that is how do they say it? Everything that is that is necessary is not necessarily exigent. You don't have to do the right thing when it's not the right time.
And I'm being cautious. People are hailing it, but I'm reminding them that for now it's still a piece of paper. Until they implement it and we see it working, we cannot really.
Even when it becomes law, you still have to pray that they manage it effectively to achieve its so-called world best practices and all that. Okay. Let's move on to Nation. We're expecting our guest anytime soon. Let's move on talking point that is. The Nation leads with Naira issues. It's a Naira rebounds as speculators dump dollars. And therefore, riders here closes at 1,515 to a dollar in parallel markets. FX speculators lose 10 billion in Naira rally, 10 billion Naira in Naira rally. Nigeria recorded 5.6 8 trillion naira trade surplus in quarter 3 of 2024. That's from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. And then federal government taking practical steps to revamp economy. That's Cardoso singing a lullaby there. Uh,
Oh dear. You know
this thing,
what I think happened
mm,
there was the reduction of the importation of fuel over a period.
mm,
You know, the
mhm,
purchase
mhm,
locally
mhm,
reduced the demand for
mhm,
dollars. I think that's what
mhm.
happened.
That's a
So,
massive reduction, especially with
yeah,
the second refinery coming up, and then the expected dumping war that we
yeah,
look forward to.
yeah.
People should stop writing that the slash price or prices crash. You go and look it; it's just 15 naira that is crashing. No, we don't want. That's not crashing. Crash is to
Dangote
crash from
said
1,050 to
97
like
naira or
600.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, all these are not crashing. They are just sidestepping and stepping down bit by bit. You
So
know,
you know
but
the
we'll
thing
get
is, if we can convince the marketers to buy fuel locally and not insist on importing it, then the
I think
demand
they've
for
agreed.
dollars,
I
yeah.
think they've agreed to
But they
that.
could,
They have agreed to stop importation. Now
okay,
the problem now is Dangote is asking for prepayment before you load. Prepaid because
yeah,
you load, and
because
I don't blame
he,
it. It's a new business,
you
and
can't
you
blame
can
him.
you can't do credit business with customers that can disappear with, with their goods. So they are negotiating that. I think it's a workout
Of course,
because
they
by the time
should.
we have the
They, they pay
yes
cash
go ahead.
abroad now, so why are they
Yeah,
asking for credit
yeah.
here?
Maybe they give them credit line there also. But anyway,
Uh,
they are working. They are doing some mechanisms to make lifting easier. By the time you have 3 points or 2 or 3 points, or refining, blending, or whatever they are doing, the Naira will revive indeed, and the
yeah,
craze for dollar will reduce, I believe. Um,
I believe so
okay,
too.
okay. Our last section will be on Saturday Vanguard. It also leads with tax reform bills. It says North re-strategizes as regional crisis looms. Said Northern Democrats raise panel to review bills in 7 days. Senate reps take contrary stand. While reps suspended debate indefinitely. Thank God they're not fighting. They're not coming to blows. Another writer says Northern lawmakers mount pressure. Kebbi Commissioner says federal government sensitization is too late. Hmm. And DGNOA, I believe that's the orientation agency, says tax reforms will protect poor people. Hmm. Thank you. Part of the story continues. Ex-reps member backs Tinubu, tells him to subject tax bill to a referendum if NAS shoots it down. Hmm. Regrets some states not creating, only banking on federal government allocations. Yeah,
You know, if it
yeah.
comes to the grind, I hope they won't end up waiving 2027 in the face of the president over issues like this.
It's politics. It's called
Yeah,
politics. If you want to take food from their mouth, you have to give something back. It's called compromise. Huh? What do you mean? But it's a very definitive and paradigm shifting uh, uh, gesture if you can scale through and it is effectively implemented. Nigeria will, I mean, especially the low income earners and
yeah,
small and medium scale businesses. That'll be deep, and that's the iron of the power line of the country of the economy. If those
that's
have debt what's it called, tax reliefs and all that, it's going to be great for us. It's
yeah.
going to be
Now,
great
if they
for us.
could do that and get electricity working in key
Working,
areas of
yeah,
the economy,
yeah,
then the economy would drive itself. That's what
will
will happen.
boom, will drive. Yes, everybody just focusing on VAT and VAT. It's not only VAT that is in this thing. There's many other good stuff there. But at the end of the day, dialogue is better than rough fight. So they should sit down and negotiate. Okay? Thank you so much, Alex. The god of the network in your area is working very strongly. It's keeping you alive for us. Okay, we'll take a short break and come back and see whether we are going for talking points or we are moving on to point blank. Here's an untitled C. I like to hear that. Why is this commander not around? I didn't remove my distance. He said we'll be with you shortly. We'll be with you shortly. We're hoping the FRSC commander will soon make it. I just sent a note that they will be with us shortly. Date is 8 o'clock. So if you don't have it, we start chatting on the issue. I need Boston badly. I don't know what's wrong with it. This is bad thing.
He's in Ibadan currently.
Yeah, it's in Ibadan.
Okay, maybe the area he's in is not network friendly.
Let me see what I can put him on speakerphone. Just get his views on this Paro to me person. Hello, Boston. Kí ló máa bọ̀ àárí ẹ̀? Your okay, I like open your WhatsApp. Let me see what I can. I want to get your view on this Paro Timi and Afe Babalola crisis. Okay, I'll put you on now. Let me see. Hello, boss. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll launch. Well, Boston is still having issues with his network. When he was in Lagos, he was issue plenty. Now he's in Ibadan. It's gotten worse. We are trying to see another way of getting him on uh, another source if this will permit. But I would like to get your view on the brouhaha between your learned friend, I mean, learned colleague, we may not be friends, learned colleague, Dele Farotimi, in how will I call it, incendiary of a book against the person, reputation, and business of Chief Afe Babalola. And there's been this complaints or this claim that uh, defamation is no longer criminal. It shouldn't be criminal. It should be civil. What exactly is your thought about all this scenario?
I've read all kinds of comments. I've seen all kinds of pontifications by lawyers and non-lawyers on this matter. It's actually, in fact, I told someone yesterday that what was on the front burner up until middle of the week was the tax reform.
Yeah.
And this case just came and literally swept the whole debate on the tax reform away, because it's actually it's a case that has pitched the society at different ends, because you find people who are speaking for the oppressed, and some say they're speaking in favor. People now say it as a case of the oppressed and the oppressor. But basically, let me just speak from the angle of law. Number one, when you put something in a retrieval form, like a book,
okay,
and the materials are found to be defamatory and derogatory to the person of another person who was referred in that retrieval form, like we have seen Dele writing a book on Areafe Babalola, and Are has claimed that the thing is derogatory and defamatory in nature. That, simply put, is libel. It's a libelous material. And then the proof of libel is very simple. All the person alleging will have to prove before the court is that the material in question is defamatory, derogatory, and that he got the material through any source. He would declare the source from which he got it. He could say it was given to him. He could say he bought it. Now, so one of the things that came up was the issue of jurisdiction. Now, so before a court can sit on a matter, you have to establish jurisdiction in that matter. Now, but I don't want to go on a lengthy legal voyage. But basically, one of the things here is that jurisdiction must be established. Some people have said Dele lives in Lagos, he published his thing in Lagos. They read some part of the charge, said that someone bought the book at the airport and went to Ekiti and all that. The person in question lives and resides in Ekiti. Those whom his reputation has been brought down before are in Ekiti, as claimed by this person. So on the issue of jurisdiction, I feel Ekiti may be the right forum for the case to be established against Delhi. That's one. Now, but it also depends on the court to state their position. That's one. Now, number two is whether defamation or libel is criminal or civil. Now, in our jurisdiction, there are two dimensions to it. There's a civil dimension there's a criminal dimension to it by the laws available in this land. Now, so, but in some parts of Nigeria, libel is no longer
criminal.
A criminal thing. So, in some parts also, libel still remains criminal. So, the party that is alleging will have to look for a place that is convenient, depending on how he wants to pursue his case. But one thing I need to stress here is that you cannot tell a party who is hurting how to pursue his case, particularly if the law allows the person, if the law avails the person options on going about it. If there's a civil option, there's a criminal option, I can decide to go for both, I can decide to choose one. The decision is on me, not on anybody pontificating or anybody feeling that someone is being oppressed or somebody is being taken away. That's my position on this issue of the fact remains, let's clear it. The fact remains that there's a criminal dimension angle to defamation. Under our laws, there's a civil angle. So the options available to the person who is alleging defamation is, the thing is that it's BS. He can decide to do both, he can decide to do one. So Are has chosen to follow the criminal path. So that leaves Daily Fautimi with the law and the court. Now, but he also has an option. Because one of the things also I saw in this was that people were saying that why would they come? There was no someone, there was no this. But one of the things we also found out was that the case had been filed, the criminal charge had been filed, the court started once, and then a bench warrant was issued. Maybe for the sake of education, a bench warrant basically means during a criminal trial or a criminal proceeding, if the party, the accused person didn't show up in court or has been notified and it didn't come to court for the charge to be preferred against him, the court can go ahead and issue a bench warrant. It is equal to a warrant of arrest. So wherever the court will say that wherever this person is seen and found, he should be arrested. That's so Daly was picked up pursuant to a bench warrant issued by the magistrate in Ekiti. So that's basically the crux of the case. But Daly also has his own angle, which is by the time fixed, the next adjourn date is on the 10th of December. Yeah. He can come to court with his own lawyers to challenge the jurisdiction, which is the first thing. Once the issue of jurisdiction comes up in a matter, they will suspend everything and look into that case of that issue of jurisdiction. If the court doesn't have jurisdiction, the case ends right there in that court. Then they will now have to go and refile in a court that has jurisdiction. If the court has jurisdiction, then they proceed with it. So if Dele feels slighted by the whole thing, he has his own option to, in civil law, by filing against the police and against the person who has alleged defamation against him. So it looks like a long movie with scenes.
Okay, thank you.
Which we will enjoy for a long time.
Thank you, Bosun. I wish you could say this in less than a minute. I want to know, the RA is asking for an apology. Would that be sufficient to end the case if by some kind of magic Dele was made to apologize?
If all he wants is apology, it's fine by him. But in some cases, they're even under civil law, there are remedies available to the person alleging defamation, one of which can be public apology, which may be published on different platforms. And if that person says that's sufficient or the court feels so, fine. There's also retrieval of those materials. Then there is expunging the defamatory part from subsequent publication. There's also monetary compensation, which, because some people, one of the things I've seen here is that people have been saying the book is a bestseller, When, by my own understanding, I don't think that explanation is in the favor of the writer and publisher of the book. Because if I think that your book is a bestseller, it increases the amount I want to claim against you.
Okay, boss. Thank you so much. We hope to see you when you come back to Lagos. next week. Have a wonderful trip. Bye. That was Bosu Shifura delving into the case of Area Babalola and his learned colleague, Dele Faruti, the Ekiti fiasco, so to speak. We take a short break and come back to talking points. Our guest is in the building and we'll talk road issues. Here is Kiss Daniel. This is Duro. Good morning.
Good morning, Director.
What happened to the commander?
He's so he's monitoring the KFM Maritime Corridor.
Okay.
So it's been active since Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so name, I know Jayola, I can see.
Yes,
What?
Jayola Wadamlola.
Elizabeth Oluwadamilola Jayola, we are the PRO.
Yes, so we call it Public Enlightenment Officer.
Public Enlightenment Officer, aka PRO. Okay, let me just note the name. Done on my research on Hamza.
Oh.
Now Jayola shows up. So I have to calibrate.
What did you do on him? Let me know.
No, it's okay. It's nothing, I mean, for the good.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olame, correct?
Oluwadamilola.
Oluwadamilola.
Rárá o, mo wà lórí rédíò program kan. Kò ọjọ́ ẹ̀ tí kí n pè é padà létà. Níbo níbẹ̀? Níbo ń bẹ̀? Iwájú ọ́fíìsì. Tó bá ti wà really okay, but ẹni pé kán pè mí send number mi sí wọn. Kán pè mí. Asant ni màá pick up. All right, sir. All right. Gbà tó bá ti pè. Kò listen sí nǹkan tó bá sọ ní kán fún team leader ní phone bí PR fẹ́ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀.
This is the Vintage Talkshow with Femi Akintunde-Johnson.
I know we are back, and this is Talking Points. I know I've told you, in case you hear another voice, I'm giving you an impression that you hear a male voice and you hear another voice, and you wonder what kind of magic is that throwing up this morning. No, unavoidably absent is the Sector Commander, Lagos State Sector Command, Corps Commander Kende Hamzat. He's not able to join us. I understand he's officially engaged somewhere in, call it Lekki Marine Corridor or something like that. No, but he is ably represented at this moment by, we call her generally like a PRO, but she insisted that she's Public Enlightenment Officer of the Federal Federal Road Safety Corps, the Lagos sector. It's great to have this morning with me, Elizabeth Oluwadamilola Jayola. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning, listeners.
Okay.
Good morning, madam. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning,
Of
sir.
course, my bad. I should introduce my co-anchor, who doesn't have to come to studio, which is why I forgot. Alex Ogundadegbe.
Okay. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good
Yeah,
morning, madam.
I said earlier, I prepared some questions for Ekende Hamza, but now there's the Jayola Elizabeth. So I have to do some jigging and all that. First of all, let me ask, because I wanted to find out. I saw uh, the corps commander just just resumed, I think
Yes.
around August,
October.
October, or thereabout, October, yeah. And I saw him taking a parade of guards at the civil defense
Office.
office
Okay. When you visited.
when he visited them, and the parade of guards were armed, you know. So I was saying, if he was going to visit your office and you're going to do a parade of guards, what are you going to use?
We do it our own way. We
What
do it our own way.
have you guys, because I read comments, but people I suspect will be your colleagues about asking them when are they going to arm them. Do FRSC officials need guns? Why would they want guns? Why would they envisage having guns to monitor the roads?
Okay. I think I'll throw a question back at you
Yeah.
and ask that: do you know how volatile the job is for us? Sometimes we get to lose our staff on the road. You know, hit and run issues, people who are innocently doing their jobs and they are being run down by vehicle drivers who possibly do not want to wait or do not want to stop to be checked, whether good or bad. One thing will come out, but because they just don't want to be stopped, they get to run them down. So I think
Wow.
to some extent we deserve it.
Wow. Well, every side has two sides. I mean, every position has two sides.
Yes.
One could claim that I mean, it's an incident you have shown, hit and run. I mean, gun may not stop, but at least it can stop the tire or something like that.
At least it can do it to a great deal.
To a good extent. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they are listening to you, and they will save more lives. FRC lives also matter, right?
Yeah, we're saving lives, so our lives matter too.
Okay. That's a good point. Now, let's talk about every festive period. Somehow, the statistics of road casualty increases. The last time one of your colleagues came, it was saying that things have been going down in the past couple of years and all that. But do you still see surge in the casualty statistics during festive season as usual?
I'll say for Lagos State, because we are working hand in hand with other agencies and we are putting all our heads together, it has reduced drastically. Unlike what we used to have in those years, what we have now is not compare. We can't compare it to what we used to have in those years. So, to a great extent, it has reduced.
Sometime early this year or middle of this year, I spoke to one of your former bosses, Dr. Olagunchu.
Okay.
And he was talking about even out of service. Sometimes he will wait on some road issues and try to call your attention and all that stuff. Are you enough? I mean, we have, Nigeria is quite big, and I don't think you're as large as the police or the military to man the roads, because sometimes you drive for like 15-20 kilometers, you don't see your people on the road. Are you enough to man the inner cities, not to talk of the highways and all that?
What we have now, is enough to man the places we do. We have routes that we have mapped out,
Okay.
that we monitor. Do you understand? And then for now, we're getting more people into the car, but what we have now is sufficient. We're doing the job.
You have said it for years. Sufficient. So any spark in practice or in enforcement, we know who to blame. Okay, let's talk about dealing with. You talk about hit and run. There are some unruly drivers. There are some bad drivers. I mean, in every society, there we have good and bad. How do you deal with men, or like in your kind of business, like paramilitary or forces, armed forces, and all that, when they run foul of the road rules? How do you deal with that kind of interagency scope?
Oh, okay. So because we have this robust relationship with other agencies, we try to bring it to the table and then discuss and map out strategies to settle the issues. But trust me, offenders don't go unpunished, because if you don't punish them, they won't know the extent at which they have really erred. Do you understand? So we try as much as possible to make them understand that this that you have done is wrong. Even though we have a relationship, but you still have to pay for your fine. So that will curb, and that will also teach other people lessons. We all have families. We all belong to a particular clan or society. And then when you do things and you feel like, oh, okay, I'm the small god, and it doesn't go unpunished. Other people look at you like, oh, if he can be able to do it, or if he's able to do it and he's not punished, then I shouldn't be punished too. So if we don't punish ourselves, then our own family, our own clan will learn from us. So it's a matter that has to be punished, but we have a way of doing it.
If I may come in here.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm worried about speed limits on our roads. Often I get to ply the third mainland bridge very early in the morning on the weekend, and the speed that we have people driving on that stretch scares me. And I see the speed limits, and it's not just the third mainland bridge, other parts of Lagos too. My question is, I know that there are speed limits on our roads. How do you encourage drivers to keep to those speed limits? Is there a way you have of monitoring us when we drive to ensure that we don't go higher than necessary when we're driving?
Okay, so I'm not just going to speak for federal safety alone. I'm going to speak for Lagos State as well. So we go out for enlightenment. You know that we enlighten people. We talk to them about their speed limits and all that, and then we come back to do enforcement. Part of the enforcement we do is what we call mobile courts, where we have the magistrate from the state government who will man and judge the issue. All right. And then again, we do joint collaboration, a joint effort of possibly LASMA and FRSC and DSS and police, NSCDC, depending on which one comes in. And then we enforce. Also, we have technology of the radar gun that we use when we go for this enforcement. Do you understand? We use that to check of vehicles coming in and the speed limits they are coming in with. So from there, we're able to checkmate them. So when they have been enlightened, educated on all grounds, we go to churches, we go to mosques, we go to everywhere. We even catch the minds of the kids in the primary, the secondary schools, to also go back home to teach their parents about their safety on the road. And then at the end of the day, if they don't adhere to the enlightenment they've heard from us, then they get to be enforced. So from the enforcement, we get to teach them, this is what you should do. When you lose your life when you get to witness accident caused by speeding, then I think people will understand how very important it is for them to go at the level they are supposed to go. Do you understand? So we do these things, enforcement, enlightenment first, then we now go through enforcement. Like my Oga Corps Commander Kendi Amzat will always say, enlightenment without enforcement is a joke.
It is indeed. Talking about this enforcement issue, there have been court cases against the FRS in different sectors, especially concerning your capacity or the legality of your ability to fine drivers or offenders and all that stuff. And in Lagos, I don't see them adhering to it. They issue papers for fining and all that, don't they?
FRC?
Yes.
Yes, there are laws guiding us.
There are court statements barring you from issuing fines. That only a court of law will put lawful fines.
But you also know that we do joint efforts with the same courts where we have the magistrates coming to have mobile courts with us. So if there are no laws guiding us to issue these fines, do you understand? I don't think we'll have the right to have it out.
Okay, I wish I had a copy of that rule. There have been rulings in the past 8 years.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, that bars you from fining. But now you are trying to be playing by the trick and saying you have a collaboration with the court.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
If the court fines, yes. But sometimes they give you a bill and seize your driver's license. And you will come and pay. They even use remata. So it's official pay.
It's an official payment.
Know. So it's official and legal. But I mean, it's official, but is it legal?
Very legal.
Okay, I have a hole to dig with you there. But let's move on. This issue, the most important thing about what you have today is tips for road users. This
for Ember months.
For Ember months. But before then, I have an issue, a personal problem. I registered or I renewed my driver's license.
Okay.
Today it will be a year and 2 months since I've renewed it, and they will say they will call me.
Okay.
Why does it take? And I've read a lot of comments online about people complaining about.
Did you do bypass or you did? They gave you a temporary license.
They gave me a temporary one. I went there to do the biometric and everything, testing and all that.
Please, after now, send it to me. Well, also, I need you to understand that we have over hundreds, thousands of driver's license on ground that has not been claimed.
Yeah, but and want to claim.
I understand. Unless we are able to push this out, we will not be able to push some in from where they produce. Do you understand?
So it means some thousands of people are driving without.
At some point, what people don't understand is while you're waiting, your card may be waiting for you at the office.
Okay.
So just like I said, if you have any issue, and like I always say on programs, if you have any issue that has to do with driver's license, possibly you did your renewal and you have not gotten your card, please let me have it.
Okay, well, sorry
Send
for you.
Send a copy to me.
Sorry for you out there that you don't know Jayola.
But they know that you know Badge. If you know Badge, you know me.
I feel okay, but I think that the system should work in such a way that people should not be driving around with expired. I mean, if you don't collect, it means what you have is expired. And over time, people should be forced to go take there. But there should be a communication issue where you can inform people, come and take you. If I've been told to come and take, I will have gone to.
Okay, I'm saying it now on TopRadio. Come and take your license.
Great.
And if you still do not have it, please let me have it on my table. You can walk into our office at Ojodu and then ask of me. We'll do something about it.
Fantastic. I love that. Open-ended invitation. When you have problems with your card, seek to go check and see if yours there is not there. Ask for Jayola.
Please do.
Fantastic. Great PR. Okay, now let's talk about the tips. How do we keep safe? We know we should not drink and drive. We know we should not drive when we are tired. We know we should not speed. We know all these things, yet we do them. Beyond enlightenment and all that. It's a large country. What simple steps should we take to be careful in this speed world?
I think the reason why people still do these things is because they don't have the knowledge of how bad. When you go through, when you have a crash and you're taking, possibly you don't lose your life in that accident, you're still alive. There's possibility that you may not be able to do anything again.
Mhm.
Sometimes ago, I was visited by the people we call Spinal Cord Association of
Okay.
Nigeria, and when I saw those people, I was taken aback,
Mm.
because they are there, they can't do anything again, they can't go to work, even if they work with the federal government, state government, or even a private institution, they can't do anything again because it's gone.
Yeah.
The whole of their activity, back and forth, I can drive, I can do this. So now we are not only targeting the drivers again, we are now telling the passengers, please pick up.
Mm.
Hold your drivers responsible.
Mm.
When you go to the parks and you know that, or you feel like your driver has taken something, or you are looking at your driver taking the sachet of alcohol, drop from that vehicle and speak up. Report that particular driver to the park. Let them hold him responsible. When they drink, they have this impaired judgment. What is happening on the road? A case where you're applying Lagos Ibadan Expressway and you're looking into your vehicle because you are drunk. You see that vehicle still coming from about 1 kilometer from you, whereas that vehicle is just beside you here because you have an impaired judgment because of the level of alcohol in your system. And there's something I used to tell people: we are not different. We're not the same. My body may be able to consume as much as 50 to 70% of a whole bottle of drink. Yours might not be able to even take up to 10%. And then when you drink and then you drive, you have this impaired focus of the road. That's on another side. Then drinking and driving and being distracted by possibly your phone, or you are distracted by talking to another person. There's a psychology to it.
Mm-hmm.
The psychology of focus. You can't focus on two things at the same time. I want to press this phone and still talk to you. And that means I'm going to be talking to you slowly.
Yeah.
Because I want to concentrate on this phone, or I want to actively talk to you and not concentrate on the phone. So it's a two-way thing. But in a case where I want to invest my time on the phone and still use my one hand, whereas the steering is a circle, and there's a reason why the steering is a circle, because you have to use your two hands to wheel it back and forth. Do you understand? So I want to invest my time on that phone. By the time I invest my time on that phone, I'm losing focus of the road. Before you do palm and raise your eyebrow, these are our tiny eyes. Before you raise them up, a vehicle is already, it's gone.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So there's a psychology to it. Some people will tell you, oh, it's a lie. I've been driving since 1978. One day, you may not be able to remember that 1978 again. I had my first driver's license when it was being issued by the local government, when it was this. At a time is coming when you still feel, oh, I can focus. I can do this. I can even drive 10 kilometers and still be operating on my phone. There are two machines you are operating at the same time, and it's not possible. You can't drive and operate your phone. Your focus will be impaired. And once your focus is impaired, you are calling on to crash. And once it happens, if you are lucky enough, you'll be alive. So as a passenger in that private vehicle, whether it's your dad, is your mom, is your friend that is driving, hold that driver responsible. Drive carefully. It doesn't take anybody. And there's another thing I tell people: if it's going to take you 10 minutes to drive from Ikeja to Maryland, it's not going to take you 1 hour to drive there. So why hurry? Why hurry? Why do you want to fly and get there in 1 minute? If you check your Google map and it says, oh, you're going to get to Lekki from here, in 3 hours? Why do you want to fly and get there in 1 hour? Why not prepare your time? Start ahead of time so that you can get to where you are going on time. So that's another point. Another point is, a lot of times we don't understand that what takes us from this point to that point is not our car, is that rubber, the 4 rubbers underneath our vehicles. And once we realize that, go and get pieces of tire that has been torn, press it and see. You will understand that your life depends on those four rubbers. I call it rubber because I want people to really understand how they've been endangering their lives. The whole body of your car is being put on those rubber, and they ply from here to here, from that place to that place. And then when FRC or any agency or any traffic agency stops you and they tell you, oh, sir, your tire is bad, you come out and say, oh, my tire is not bad, I've been using that tire for. Do you understand how the wear and tear of the road, how you have been using that tire? Those tires go from as much as 10 kilometers. Sometimes you bring it back, you take it again, you do it, and then you don't want to take care of that thing that is taking care of your life.
Yeah.
You don't want to care for that thing that will tell you, oh, you will go and come back safely. Because your life depends solely on the movement of that vehicle. And the movement of that vehicle depends solely on those 4 tires.
Oh, yes.
Or depending on the numbers of tires that you use per vehicle.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. We are running out of time. It's your fault. You came late. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you bear the brunt. But I wanted you can take this last question in say 60 seconds. What's the update on your road safety mobile app? What is it about? I read it somewhere that the commander was talking about. They have an app now that we can report reckless driving and all that.
Yes.
I don't know if it's still functioning.
It's not just about. It's for you. It's for me as an agency. It's for federal safety as an agency. It's also for the citizen to use. Now, download it on the Google Play Store. Once you have it on your phone, you impute.
What's it called?
FRC mobile app.
Okay.
You impute it on your phone. You input every detail of what you have to do. Now, anytime your FRC mobile app is just like a Google map.
Okay.
Now, anytime you go out, it notifies you of black spots.
Okay.
You can report. You can check for your licenses. You can check for your vehicle. There are so many things you can do on that mobile app.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's for you. And then when you are traveling, like I said about the black spot, it gives you an update of what the road will look like.
It doesn't give direction, but it gives it just tells you.
Where
you should.
You should be careful.
Okay.
You need to slow down because there's a black spot somewhere.
So, okay.
And then it gives you all those details. So it's for you, it's for me, it's a win-win for FRC and the citizens.
I pray so. Usually government apps have many issues, but this is a very nice one. Whatever they call black spots means places that you should avoid.
You should avoid.
It could be red flag or whatever you call it. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Jayola. Thank you for sharing your time with us. I wish we could be much more, but we have come to the end.
I'll definitely be back.
We'll come to the end of the show. Alex, I'll say your bye for you. We don't have enough time to say goodbye. Sometimes time is a cheater and it just takes your place and all that. It's been lovely having you. As we always say, be nice to people as much as you can and be kind in spite of the environment that we are in now. I pray that all will be well. See you next week by the grace of God. Bye. Oh, thank you so much. Alex, see you next week. I'm ending the stream. So we're also